Hey everybody, and welcome back to the macro. It is December 28th, 2024. Man, we're getting close to 2025 and I'm excited for it. I know I keep saying that, but I am genuinely excited for the new year for many, many reasons. Let's talk about how to be more authentic in a fake world. Now, there's some good news and bad news to this, but I believe they equal each other out. And let's talk about that. The good news is that it's totally possible. With the fabricated, manufactured, artificial material world that we live in, it is totally possible to be as authentic as you want. Now, the bad news is that there's no shortcuts to this. There's just simply not. You just have to be who you are, but you're gonna have to feel uncomfortable, and that's the tough part. It's feeling the peer pressure to conform. There's no shortcuts to this, guys. And one of the things about being authentic is sometimes people think that it automatically means you need to be abrasive, or you need to be argumentative, or you always have to, try to be combative with somebody, or you intentionally go against the grain, or you're, something along those lines. And that's not what it is. Sometimes people look at being authentic as like a bad rap for it. It's like you're rebellious. You're trying to, just be annoying, and that's not it at all. That's not it at all. Being authentic is difficult, especially maybe around friends that you've known for a long time. And one thing that I've noticed in my life, there's things that shape into kind of who you are. I think that there's this core person of who you are in terms of like your personality, but there's things that can change, that changes your perspective on things, your outlook on life, and what your worldview is, and all these different things shape you into the person that you are and that you're going to become. What seems to be clear to me, at least from a man's perspective, is I think around 30 years old seems to be that age where a man starts to become the person that he may become for the rest of his life, which is interesting. I definitely know for me, getting married and having children definitely catapulted me into thinking a lot differently than I did before. I think many men could agree with that have families. But anyway, yeah, man, just being authentic isn't always easy, especially in the workplace. My goodness, man, everything's good if you just get along and never challenge the status quo and just, yes, master, I mean, I'm sorry for saying it like that, but it's true. And the interesting about the workplace is that and I'm not knocking the workplace, guys. I get it, because it's built into something. It's where it is now from years and years of like conditioning. Okay. It's not something that just poof happened overnight and here we are and we have this fake workplace kind of deal. And the reason why I say that it's kind of fake is because if you want to be authentic in the workplace, there's this resistance towards it, a lot of resistance, because people are ultimately trying to fit in, right? You don't want to shake up things too much, and I get it. You know what I mean? You always want to remain humble. You always want to be respectful. But the moment that you decide to speak out, even if it's in a very genuine and kind way, you're going to meet resistance. You absolutely will. And if you work around guys especially, what I find interesting about men a lot of the times is that their idea of like, I don't know, communicating with each other at work is they ball bust. They like to make fun of each other. And I'm like, I think that's just so silly. Doesn't it kind of get old just trying to just crack jokes on one another? Doesn't that get like kind of boring? You can't say anything like real. You got to go to like making fun of each other. Now I get if you're close friends or something like that, and you make jokes. That's cool. But man, in the workplace of men, that's just so. That's just like how it is. It just seems kind of silly to me. And then the dirty jokes thing, man. Don't get me started on that. You're gonna hear plenty of those. But see, a man could say a dirty joke at work, and everybody laughs and listens to it and stuff. But you know what you could do? You can choose to either say something in response to that, not like to just just to say something just to be kind of like that person that's just always gonna you know I don't know intentionally try to diminish or try to prevent someone else's free speech, because I think that's super important. But maybe it's not so free because it actually comes at a consequence. Maybe it's free. Maybe we should rename it to free speech with consequences. How about that? But anywho, yeah, I'm telling you, with the dirty jokes thing, that's just going to happen like all the time. But see, you can choose like to walk away maybe from that situation if you can. Maybe you don't have to listen to it. But see, the moment that you bring up something that is of genuine concern, oh man, you're going to get the resistance. You absolutely will. But see, you got to get over that. You got to get over that. You got to be okay with people not liking you too. There's people that aren't going to like you for being authentic because they want to put you in that box. And a lot of the times I don't think it's intentional, but people have this genuine fear of being authentic, about being real. But I'm telling you, I think that the people who understand what your morals are, what you stand for, what you approve of, what you don't, I think in the end, especially with men, they will genuinely respect you more, even if they actually don't like you, because they can point at that person and say, man, you know what? He says a lot of stuff that I don't agree with, and sometimes he just sounds a little bit off the wall, and he's so different, but I still respect him. I forgot who said this quote, but it's just awesome because it's so powerful. But it goes along. It's something to the effect of, they laugh at me because I'm different, but I laugh at all of them because they're all the same. Think about that. Think about that. And what I'm starting to notice is people want real authenticity. They do. And like I said, you don't have to go about it in a way that is unkind and, very, non-sensitive. Not at all. You can totally be yourself without being any of those things, because we don't want to come across that when it comes to our authenticity. And that's going to look different for everybody. Now, I know for me, when it comes to the general consensus in a group, I probably would think differently than what the consensus is. I'm probably not going to agree with it. Not because I intentionally want to, right? Not because it's like, oh, I'm going to do this just to make someone upset or just to be that annoying guy. No, it's just because I genuinely challenge the narrative, because I think that a lot of the narratives that we're given about different things, all different kind of things, are typically wrong, right? The crowd is usually wrong. You can't be the sheep. You got to be the goat. And if you want to surpass that, you got to be the wolf. I'm just telling you the facts. Being authentic will bring some resistance, but when you're able to be authentic and you're like comfortable with it, it is such a liberating feeling. It really is. It's a very liberating feeling. And it doesn't mean that there's not going to be challenges that come along the way. There's going to be someone or something that's going to try and challenge you to bring you back down to being like them. It will happen. And when it does, you have to make a choice. Like I see a lot of the stuff even on YouTube. People are looking for authentic content creators. They really are. They want to watch someone and to listen to someone that's actually a real person, that's not looking at things from a 30,000 foot view. No, they're not interested in that. They want someone who's real. They really do. And that's just, just think that that's pretty cool. So like I said, there's no shortcuts to being authentic. You just have to do it. It takes time. It takes practice to be okay with that. But like I said, it's a very liberating feeling, and when you be authentic, I believe that is such a wonderful thing, a blessing. And there will be people that you come across in your life that are going to respect you even more for being who you really are, for being authentic. All right, guys. I hope some of that resonated with you. I hope that's something, what we talked about today, that you can take away something from this. All right. We'll speak again soon. Take care.